Hi Cancer, this is your July 2023 reading. It's a very happy Cancer season and a very happy day today because my friend who is a Cancer sun just gave birth to a baby girl with a Cancer moon today. So it's an awesome day to celebrate and do the Cancer reading. Let's see what July 2023, aka Cancer season, has in store for you. The King of Coins is the first card out, and I'm going to just lay these cards out. The Magician, the Chariot, which is the card for Cancer. So this is going to be a very powerful birthday month for you. We also have the Queen of Coins, the King and Queen of Coins. So a relationship that's in a lot of alignment. Let's get what else is going on out here and see what's coming up. Beautiful. Well, we do have the Empress energy too, which is the archetypal mother. So I'm delighted to see that in this reading, especially for anybody who is in the energy of cultivating something to grow at the moment. That of course doesn't have to be a literal baby. You could be growing something to do with a project, a goal, an ambition. You could be like reaping the rewards of something, your harvest, and you could just be in that creative frequency of inspiration. Let's just get straight into this reading. So at the beginning of the month and right now, how you're entering your birthday season, you're in this King of Coins energy. The green color is representing that fertility and that abundance, basically. The King of Coins, yeah, you know, the King of Coins. This is about money and wealth and resources. On an emotional level, this is feeling really safe and secure in yourself, a very strong sense of self, and just a very abundant world around you. Like, this just tells me that your home and living situation feels really safe and secure, and long may that last. And you have enough of everything. You actually have more than you probably expected to have at this time. This is coming through with the Magician card. So the Magician card is about our will to do, our will to act. And this would tell me that you're serving a lot of dedication to yourself this month. You're providing a lot for yourself and you have a strong sense of motivation to succeed. This is the first major arcana card. So to me, this signals that this month is about you creating, almost manifesting your reality, and you have all the tools that you need at this time to just blend everything together, merge your skills, your talents with the outside world, showcase what you have to offer. You have high energy this month, and the Magician card tells me that a successful month is in store. That is again really kind of this is amplified a lot by the Cancer major arcana, the Chariot card, the beautiful imagery of the waves. So when we see Cancer season, it's the first manifestation of water in the zodiacal year, and we're kind of thirsty. Like, we are in need for this kind of cleansing nature of water. And for some, we're going to see that wave is going to be a barrel effect, right? And some people are going to get caught up in that barrel effect, but not you, Cancer. You're a native to these kind of watery landscapes, or these watery seascapes, and you kind of know how to ride the wave. And not everybody is going to know how to do that this season, and that's okay, because for you, this is actually your time to advance. That's what the Chariot speaks to. A leveling up and a sign of progression. And when it's time for us to level up, it's not always the same time for everybody else, but that's where you have an advantage. The Chariot card speaks to success and victory, and it seems to be on your conscious motivation. Like, that's the part of the reading that you're just focused and wired and geared towards overtaking some. I mean, these horses, one is overtaking the other. So there is a sense of competition and there is a sense of somebody winning out here. So perhaps you do find yourself in the world of competition where there is a clear winner this month, and that winner looks like it could be you. So the Chariot card also tells you that from a soul-centered point of view, this has been perhaps a long time coming. This has already kind of intuitively come up for you, deep from, within an inner calling, that it is your time to advance now. And basically all it requires you to do is take the reins and drive this situation forward. Very fortunately, you're blessed in terms of resources at the moment. Now, if that doesn't look like money in the bank, so to speak, maybe you have some extra time on your hands to make manifest magician cards, something for your future that is going to provide that extra cushion of material prosperity. But perhaps it's time, perhaps it's allies, perhaps it's skills and talents, and maybe it's you yourself, maybe you're the resource. And this would tell me with the King of Coins that since April or May of this year, you've kind of been in a more comfortable place financially, or you've at least been a bit more mature financially, and you've been maturing as to, I guess, using your discernment in a more wise way, where you're allocating the resources you have, be it time, energy, enthusiasm, money, allies, we know. Okay, got it. And even deeper than that, we have the Queen of Coins. So we'll talk about the King and Queen of Coins together as a relationship, or at least a partnership or friendship. But this is in your subconscious part of the reading, which is telling me that in this lifetime, in a past lifetime, from your past of this current lifetime, the subconscious mind is set to this frequency right now in relation to the particular endeavor of, I guess I told you, you're taking the reins now, but the Magician card is also activating like this kind of masculine energy of going out and doing the thing, and like taking the steps necessary, making the calls, going to the meetings, doing the research, like applying themselves to their goal, and they're using the skills and tools that they already have. For some of you, some of your skills are underutilized and they're laying dormant, and this month may be a time where you kind of up the ante and push forward a little bit more. But so like I was saying about the subconscious part of the brain, or the part of your psyche, it's already kind of been there and done that. You maybe have felt like you've been in a position of wealth before, like some subconscious dormant memory where you always get the impression that you'll always be able to make it work for yourself. But the Queen of Coins does this in a very dignified way, I suppose. They're not like out there compromising any of their principles, integrity, or morals in order to get ahead. The reason you're getting ahead right now is because you're coming from a really secure emotional place. Like you're coming from a place where you believe in yourself, where you're comfortable with yourself, where you've stripped back a lot of the superficiality, and what you're left with is something that's really useful, really practical, really helpful for you, and skillful for sure. So you don't have to compromise anything in order to get ahead. The reason you're getting ahead is two things. Because you're making it happen, because you're active, because you're smart, the Magician card, and then because the Chariot says it's just your time. Sometimes it's a matter of timing, and everything has a season. So the recent past position, which is the card for Gemini, and this could of course just be our recently past Gemini season, which has just ended now. Maybe you've been dealing with a Gemini recently, and perhaps there was something about this energy that came your way, be it a Gemini person or just during Gemini season, that really it wound you up a little bit. It kind of triggered a response in you to kind of get your finger out and get a move on. This is a really fast-paced energy, and the Knight of Swords is very motivated, like all of the knights are, but they take action in different ways. This has been you kind of having mental brain downloads about what you can do next. This has been you recently thinking things through and kind of figuring out what direction you're going to take. This is a very engaging card, very sociable. So there has been a trigger there, though. It seems like during a social situation or some sort of maybe it was an outing, maybe it was an email correspondence or some sort of a lecture or some sort of a download of information that you were privy to. No matter how that came through, it inspired you to act and get a move on something, because this is one of the fastest energies of the whole deck. So you may find, like myself, June was so quick, for me at least, and I've kind of been gathering anecdotal data on the seasons of the sun transiting through each sign of the zodiac for years now, and I have to say, mutable air Gemini season, it's always super quick. So it's mutable fire, Sagittarius season, that run up to the holidays and the run up to the new year, that is over in like a blink of an eye, I think. White horse is generally the birth of something. So recently something has made you decide to take action on whatever it is that's going to make you more financially secure, that's going to make you more powerful in terms of your place in the world, your reputation, your status. And then from a kind of partnership point of view, when I see a king and queen of the same suit or two court cards of the same suit, I get the impression that you're in an aligned relationship at the moment. And I feel like if this is romantic perhaps, and if this speaks to something romantic at this time, I'll leave a link for your latest relationship reading down below. It's going to be an exclusive piece of content which will be found over on my Patreon. But I think business partnerships are flourishing if you're in a kind of marriage or a relationship that's a romantic nature. You guys are really seeing eye to eye. At the moment, it seems like you're in this season of going after, asserting, making things happen, penetrating, essentially penetrating the external reality to bend it to your will, the Magician card. Whereas, you know, when we're in our feminine, we are basically taking a step back and being quite still and being patient and and nurturing ourselves and our inner world so that we can provide the container for growth. Now together, I feel like if this is romantic, your partner looks at you with so much respect and dignity, and vice versa. You look right back at them with a kind of sense of honoring them and seeing them basically as another spark of the divine. And you're elevating this relationship to more of a spiritual one by recognizing this within each other at this time. So that's really powerful. Upcoming in the next couple of weeks, I feel like this happens around the Cancer new moon on the 17th. There's an important message that comes through around, let's say, the 15th, 16th, mid-month part of the month. I'm getting very Gemini tongue twisted right now. But the Page of Swords is the message that comes through. This face is kind of like kind of taking the piss. No, they're just kind of like, okay, Scarlet for you. But it's kind of like some sort of a message comes through, and you're kind of like, you're looking at the message like, is this person joking? Like, are they being serious about this? I don't know, there's a smirk here, I think. So I feel like the message that might come through for you, you do think it's true. I don't think you think it's like, you might think, are they joking with how they phrase that? Or there's a kind of like an abrasiveness to the message maybe, or just this kind of like harsh delivery. But needless to say, it's still going to be an impactful piece of information that you receive around the new moon in Cancer. Following the new moon in Cancer, a day later, we have a really big transit, or a significant transit, where the North and South node will move from Taurus and Scorpio respectively into Aries and Libra respectively. So this will be highlighting in your birth chart another area of life that is, time is up for this part of your life to continue the way it is. 2 houses, 1 axis. It will be the Aries Libra axis at this time for 18 months. It's going to be a new cycle of clearing karmic debris and stepping closer to the path you should be on in that area of life. So figure out where Aries is in your birth chart. That house is going to be activated from the 18th of July onwards for 18 months. And it will be signaling the parts of that area of your life defined by the house in which you're meant to be fulfilling your destiny. Steps that you'll be making will be bringing you closer to that. The message from the highest self, 7 of Wands. Now we're seeing some fire, finally. So it's been a very kind of, maybe a little bit more passivity from you recently. And that's good because it's allowed you to kind of just sink into where you're supposed to be. And that's the Queen of Coins. So that kind of more passive feeling, it isn't stagnation. It's just like you've been in the yin expression. You've been surrendering. You've been allowing to happen. You have been allowing life to come at you, so to speak, and you have been receiving that and receiving what's there. So it's a beautiful energy of acceptance and trust and surrender. And that has gotten you to the place where you are now, where you feel good and secure and you feel revitalized and replenished. And I feel like now when we see this first and only bit of fire in the reading, the Seven of Wands is a call from your highest self. It's time to take it up a notch. The Chariot card speaks to that too, and you already know that, but maybe you don't know how. The Seven of Wands would be saying that in order to get to where you want to go next, you need to defend where you already are. You need to be able to stand by what you say, how you act, how you show up, and how you relate to others. And the Seven of Wands tells you not to back down. This person is like ready to defend themselves against, you know, it's unfair odds here. But they're in a position of strength here, and they need to be tested in a way to prove to themselves that they can, you know, they're no victim. They don't need to be worrying. They don't need to have any fear. They've got this. But I think that integrity is really important. I mean, the King of Coins in the center of the reading tells me you're acting in that way, and you've been tested. Look, you've been tested recently during Gemini season with something triggering, albeit true, albeit sudden, albeit like, where the hell did that come from? And you're left kind of heart pumping after this interaction. Or, you know, maybe you've been pushing yourself in terms of your physical endurance, like pushing yourself towards a fitness goal, and it's whatever, it has made your heart race at some point. And sometimes, you know, your heart can race when somebody calls you out on something, or your heart can race when you're engaging with somebody who, in your opinion, just doesn't get it, and it's very frustrating. But there's been a nugget of truth in it, and it's been one of your tests recently. And I feel like another test is coming up around mid-month, where the Page of Swords, it's like you received that information, that message, that conversation, but now you have to think of a different way to handle this rather than getting worked up. You kind of have to like smirk at that person and see the humor in it. A brainwave is coming for you this month, the Ace of Swords. So this is going to be mental clarity that comes to you this month. It's all around you. This is the environment card. So what your environment currently looks like, or pardon me, for July rather, it looks like basically everyone is beginning to get it. There's a very like everyone starts to understand. You don't really need to dominate basically, or you don't need to push those opinions, or you don't even need to, I don't know, it's like there's an understanding between everyone in your world at the moment, and that's great because it makes your life easier. The Empress card in your hopes position. Oh my gosh, wow, this version of the Empress, I've never seen this on a card speak so literally to the birth. So this could be a message to my Cancerian friend if you're watching. Congratulations, you're going to continue to be an amazing mother, and you know, pink roses in honor of the baby to celebrate today. But the Empress card is holding something they've birthed, right? And like I said, it doesn't have to be this physical baby right here. They're coming from the earth. There's plenty of a harvest. There's plenty of fertility. When we're in the frequency of creation, quite often, you know, we can be creating life, but also we can be creating our goals, our next move. We can be creating art. We can just find ourselves becoming more inventive, more inspired, and more alert and awake, and like aware and vigilant, and sort of like present in life. And I feel like the Empress card with the King of Coins and the Queen of Coins, like for some, I've got to say, this is a major money month for you, where you may even see windfall, especially if, you know, you're either a let me think about the rising signs where the nodes would be moving into. Perhaps if you are, I'm sorry guys, a Virgo or a Pisces rising, this could also really signify a time where, you know, the next 18 months are going to be super enlarging for you in a material prosperity kind of a way. And the Seven of Coins is how you end the month. Okay, so I feel like when the sun leaves Cancer around the 23rd of June, you kind of feel like there's something that you're not fully, you haven't fully made it with it yet. And that's because there is some sort of an emotion that has to settle in still. And so you get to kind of like just wait for a little while at the end of the month. You're put on hold, basically. You may find yourself on hold, but somebody might tell you that, look, Cancer, you're just going to have to wait for this a little while longer. Can't give you an answer right now. It looks good. There's a little bit of questioning about it, but at the same time, you just have to kind of feel into all of the challenges that come up for you this month. And for some of you, you might just have to take matters into your own hand and see what kind of other options you have, I think, and sort of see what, you know, does it have to be one or the other? Is there a third option, or is there a fourth option? Can you do a little bit of like negotiation, or take a different timeline on something? So let's see, the bigger takeaways from the month would be that money is good, emotional security is great as well, relationships and partnerships are good, the frequency of creativity is flowing throughout this reading, and there's a sense that the time for you to level up while you have the advantage is upon us. Thank you for watching, Cancer. Consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't already. Take care, and I'll see you soon.